Blueberries and standardization. Today I was shopping for blueberries. Safeway has a sale on them. They're pretty cheap. A huge box, 18 ounces. That's crazy. Normally they're 6-ounce boxes for $2.88. How could you pass it up? So I bought one a few days ago and I bought another box today. And I realized that the box label is actually different. So today it says Gourmet Trading Company. A few days ago it says something like Thompson Farms. Maybe if I go to another Safeway, I'll have another brand. Or maybe even the same Safeway, they have more than one brand. How do you decide which blueberry from this one or this one? They're the same price, right? Is it any different? That's the thing about standardization. We're so used to standardization nowadays. We have all these brands, like Safeway. It's a grocery store. They have the same price at this Safeway versus another Safeway. We know certain cities are just more expensive areas. Gas prices are higher, but somehow Safeway is all priced the same. Their sales are all the same. You go to McDonald's in one place and get a Big Mac. Go miles in another city, miles and miles away, and get the same Big Mac for the same price. Isn't that amazing? You would think if you're in a city like San Francisco, it'd be a lot more expensive than in a cheap city. Why isn't it more expensive? Why is it that standards are there? Well, it's the idea that there's a brand and it maintains the same level of quality and all these things. And actually, if you go to a third world country or go to poor countries, you realize this is something you realize very quickly. So say going to India, you worry about food hygiene. Many people get sick going to India. So if you go eat at a chain store like McDonald's International Chain, you're pretty sure they're going to keep it clean. Of course, you can't get burgers with beef because they don't sell them in India. But the idea is that standards are there so you know what you're getting. But let's take it back to the idea of getting food at a grocery store. Why aren't standards there? There's a company called the Food and Drug Administration, part of a government, supposedly, that's supposed to regulate and keep these standards in place so that everybody knows what exactly they're buying. Organic means organic. Whether it really does or not, I don't know. But I think the idea is, how can you actually standardize food? Think back to how food is made, grown. Foster Farms. Is it one farm? Of course not. Other than a little kid who still believes in Christmas and Santa Claus, we all know Foster Farm is farms all over the place. We don't even know which state this chicken came from. Could have come from a state multiple states away. Could have traveled hundreds of miles. But hey, it's Foster Farms. Our new local farm, right? No, it's not. But I think the idea is that when you think about these standards, they are actually important. If you look at the coronavirus and masks recently, there was a big issue about masks from China because some of them are very low quality. And there's a guy in Beijing who did some research into this. So he did some testing about the masks. He says that, I could tell you which masks are good, which company has good masks, but it actually doesn't mean anything because a lot of these companies don't actually make the masks themselves. They don't own these factories. Somebody else is making it. They're just intermediary and they put their name on it. So they could have a mask from this factory, they can have a mask from that factory. You can't tell the difference. Well, you can if you know how to look for the quality and they do testing. But his point is you can't tell because it all says the same brand, but it's from different factories and they're different. And we know the same with certain things still is true today. Like you have factories for cars in different states. And my brother says, oh, those Japanese made Subarus are better than the ones made in the US. Or people say, the Boeings made in Washington, Everett, are better than ones made in South Carolina. I don't know if that's true or not, but they say there's high quality and it makes sense. There's different people at these different factories making stuff. There's going to be a difference. And if you go back to the idea of food, there has to be a difference. What do you think? You say, oh, I'll have it from that tree. You don't even know which tree you're talking about in these farms, which are somewhere where you don't know exists. So how do you maintain quality? Is this blueberry from Gourmet Trading Company the same as this blueberry from Thompson Farms? I have no idea. All I can tell you is, hey, at Safeway, it's the same price.